Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to a Tuesday night session with Task and Django, better known as the Crypto Maniacs. This is the podcast where we talk about every crypto project out there to make sure that you go and blow all your money on really bad investments. Task, is that a good pitch or no?
Yeah, that works.
Perfect. Or we'll just sit around and talk about Leo and Hive all day. How about that?
We can do that too. A lot going on.
Yeah, I like it. So how was your weekend, man? Was it good?
Weekend was okay. Today sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, my car decided to stop running while I was driving it. And so
So that
nothing
would
like standing outside waiting for a tow truck from AAA for 3 hours in the Florida heat. Gotta love it.
Hi, Eliana. Welcome. Yeah, it sounded like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, what do you say? Like hitting your toe with a hammer or something, or driving a
Yes.
screw into your thumb or something? You said you have some saying that it about encapsulates it. Yes.
Perfect. Yes, that was good. So you did you do a lot of threading or not?
No, because I didn't have a charger on my phone, and because AAA constantly calls and updates and stuff, so I wasn't able to do any threading, and I missed most of the AMA live.
Oh.
So I did catch a little bit at the end and the replay, but oh well, it is what it is.
Good news, or did you
On the car, I don't know yet.
No, not the car, the AMA, dude. No offense. I care about your car, but I'm more interested in
you don't give a shit about my car.
Yeah.
The AMA was good. I mean, nothing really new to report in the. Well, one thing actually, the one thing came from Scaredy Cat more than Cal. You can now go to articles, and there's a drop down, and you can change from Leo to Hive, and you'll be able to view the articles just as if you're viewing it through Peak D. It brings up everything from the database.
Wow.
From the blockchain. So you can view that without leaving. You can get into those articles and interact with them the same way as you do through Peak D without leaving Leo Finance. The big thing was the Leo ads, the counter, and actually Google ads. Now they switch from Coinzilla to Google ads. Which of course then crashed the site and caused application errors all over the place. But it seems like they pushed an update this afternoon and got that worked out. But yeah, so I mean, it's that we're getting closer and closer to the ad revenue. I think the next thing that Cal's excited about is the counters being on the long form posts.
Dude, we're gonna get into there's some questions in the threadcast that we're gonna get to, but before we do, 40 equals 1, man.
Well, that's not true anymore.
No, is it higher now?
I didn't check, but that's going to change based upon the value of Leo and how that fluctuates. It's not an exact science. And then also, as a site becomes, or as a page becomes, which a thread is essentially a page, as it becomes more popular, more heavily visited, the amount paid to that page per click actually increases. So that's the idea of, and of course, I mean, I got the article written. It hasn't posted. It'll post after the show. But I wrote about Leo Glossary being an epicenter. And you can only imagine what that's going to get once it has, 3, 5, 7,000 hits per page. Because it just keeps going. The payouts are for a defined period of time, obviously, whatever window Google calculates on. So let's say maybe Google only counts the clicks from Sunday to Saturday night. okay, that 7-day window, or maybe it's a 24-hour window. I don't know. I don't know how they pay. They may only do it monthly. They may do it every 2 weeks. Whatever they do, there's a time that they're going to account for it. But you can start to see as the page views go up how that could make pages even more appealing to a Google and to advertisers wanting to be on it.
Maybe we should, for those that have no idea what we're talking about, we're going on a tangent because we've created a culture in Leo. But let's explain what we're talking about with those viewer counts. And I tried to do 40 equals 1, but obviously that's outdated. What exactly are we talking about here, Taz?
Well, what the basic premise is, Leo Finance has advertising. Advertising generates revenue. This is nothing new. This is probably from the third day of the internet. This has taken place. Typically, you go to Facebook, you go to Twitter, you go to YouTube, there's ads. YouTube shares a little bit of the ad revenue with some of the content creators, usually they're top content creators. Most people don't get squat. Elon is getting his pockets filled. I mean, okay, he's probably still losing money on Twitter, but that ad revenue goes to Elon and his partners. Facebook, the ad revenue goes to the shareholders of Facebook, at least the profitability. So this is where the saying is the users are the product, because we're the ones who on Facebook or Twitter produce the ad revenue, but you don't get squat for it.
Right.
Well, with Leo Finance, it's following the same recipe. Ads are placed, ads generate revenue. The difference is the revenue that's generated is going to be used to buy Leo on the market. And that Leo then will be distributed, and this is all going through a smart contract. The Leo will then be distributed to the Leo power holders. Hence, the users, if they stake Leo power, are going to enjoy the financial benefits of the advertising. And I guess the advertising model for Google Ads, and I'm sure CoinZilla was the same way, it's a multitude, and maybe you know more about this, John, than I do. It's a multitude of variables. I'm sure site rank is one thing, clicks on each page is another. Of course, click through on the ads is another. Mm-hmm. Time on site might be another variable that they consider. All of these different variables go into determining the value of what these ads generate. And so the idea is to create as many page views, and this is one thing Cal warned about. Don't game the fucking system. Don't go and start clicking refresh 1,000 times or stupid shit like that, or using an auto refresh like somebody did. It's just organic traffic, but you have to create traffic and start looking for ways to get traffic to Leo Finance if you have stake. And Leo Glossary, I mean, my article tonight I'll talk about, I used an article I wrote a year ago as example, has over 60 Leo Glossary links in. Leo Glossary is on Leo Finance. So that's 60 opportunities when somebody's reading that article to click on one of those links, and it's another click. And that's really what we have. And Threads is obviously very powerful, because if John posts a thread and I click on it and I reply, that is a click. And then I post a comment underneath him. Well, that's technically, according to the system, another page. And if John clicks on my comment and replies,
that's another one.
That's another one. And this is how it adds up. And this is how the Facebooks, Google does it with their search, how Twitter, how they can generate basically billions of dollars in revenue through ads.
Yep.
And we are not looking for billions, but to sit there and say, can we generate $500,000 a year? I mean, that doesn't sound so absurd in comparison.
Yeah. It's fascinating, man. I mean, for me, it was the big aha moment. Like, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, how it really reminded me of, like, we all know about this. We all know it's coming. Very similar to, like, everyone knew SPS was coming in Splinterlands. But now that you're seeing these numbers in front of you, these are numbers. These are targets. These are things that you can shoot for. And I like it's very interesting because it's not like I'm sitting there looking at my thread and going, ooh, I got 50 views on my thread. I'm more interested in seeing what other people get because we're all sharing that. This is the aha moment, the real Web3 that we all talk about.
And the thing is, if you're on threads for, let's say, an hour, instead of spending an hour on Twitter, you spend an hour on threads.
Yeah.
And you just go through and you see a thread, you click on it. Not gaming the system, not being an asshole and trying to fuck it all up. Right. You just see it and you see it has 5 responses. You click on it. 5 comments. You click on it. You open it up. There's the 5 comments. You read the comments. If you like somebody's comment, upvote it. Maybe respond to it. If you want to respond and comment on the thread, comment there.
Yeah.
Go through your notifications, have conversations, because if you go into your notifications and right click on it and open it up in a separate tab, that's a click. Yep. And that's how I do that not to get the click so much. It's like if I got 20 new notifications or 20 new comments, I'll open up the 20 tabs and I can just go through and comment and upvote if I want. And that's how you have conversations. You engage. If we get fucking engagement on this thing, the clicks happen automatically because Django and I, even though he's working all day and he comes home and, he's still sweaty and smelly.
I've showered.
He gets on threads and, we'll send 5 or 6 comments back and forth to each other.
Yeah, well, I tried to talk about the Buffalo Bills today, man. You didn't even respond to me. So
I was writing my post. I did kind of see it and I just didn't have a chance to get back to it. But I probably would have said something smart alecky and been an asshole like I always did. So probably the world's probably better off with me having that.
But you said it, man.
Moment. What?
It's organic. Like a conversation between people. It's organic. That's what the ad networks want. They want organic, genuine conversations, traffic. Look, man, I've seen the auto refreshing, the auto clicking software. I've been a part of it for 20 years. I know all about it. I know what that does. I understand it. But this is what I was trying to get at last night with the post I made about culture. It's something you can't buy. There's no software. There's no product. There's no service that will take the place of genuine community. And that's what Threads has the big potential to become: genuine community, genuine organic conversations, and then we all benefit from it.
Well, that's why I've been harping on you. And it's because I watched RM Sad Creek and I watched those footballers. For you and me, John, in North America, soccer.
Yeah, soccer, yes, sir.
Those fans. Yes. And I watched the threadcasts that they were able to put together. And they were able to and there was only maybe 6 or 7 of them in there. Yeah. And they would get 600 comments. Now, of course, and there was no thread counter at the time. Maybe we can go back and find it, actually, and it probably is updated with the counter. But with these threadcasts in these containers, you have to keep hitting refresh to get the newest stuff. And as they're going back and forth, and you start to see these things where, like on my threadcast with the New York Mets games, when Jimmy and I are going at it, Jimmy will answer out of the notifications. So I'll go through the threadcast and I'll only see the stuff I put up, but then you'll start to see and you'll look at one comment and it'll have like 15 comments on it because him and I went into each other in our notifications and we're just answering back and forth. Yeah. And like you said, you just have to keep adding the refresh. What's our threadcast at now?
75
we put up the threadcast for this. Nothing major. There's 11 comments in there, 79 clicks.
Yep.
Now, that's organic. I don't think anybody gamed it. It was something I put out a couple of times. And, that adds up. And so, anyway, getting back to what I was saying, the reason why I'm harping on you about this NFL shit is because I know damn well that you get 4 people in a threadcast who are avid fans in an NFL game. You guys will have 700, 800, 1,000 threads in there. And who knows how many click-throughs will be there. And it will be organic because it'll be, the Jets fan calling you and the Bills and Josh Allen all kinds of bad names, and you'll just respond and say, dude, you're a Jet fan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's like, come on. Yeah. It's like everybody looks down on you. Even Brown fans look down on Jeff.
Gangrene.
Yeah, gangrene. It's like, dude, man, you wear that with pride. That's like a disease from the Middle Ages.
You know what I mean? It's the Black Plague. Yeah. Right.
It's and like you said, that's what they want. And as for the gaming, the system, if you've been around this shit for long enough, which you have, you start to game it with auto refreshers. Google AdSense will kick your ass right off. Yeah. They'll just yank you in a heartbeat. So
yes, that's
why organic. Hey, if you see an ad and it somewhat interests you, click on the ad once in a while. I mean, clicking on an occasional ad isn't a bad thing. It's not that I would say do it every time or just go through clicking ads, because
just be organic about it, man.
Yeah, just once in a while, see something, say, oh, okay, I'll do it. And I go in, and when I like, if I'm reading a thread, let's say, and I see your comment and I want to comment on your comment, I'll click on your comment to get the click, and then I'll leave the comment and the upvote or not upvote and go on. These are things, page views are so important. We got simple ad analytics. What they did is really interesting. They took the simple analytics, they took their Leo ad API, they took the counter, and they batched them all together. So now you have this counter, and there's an estimated of what it earns in USD, what it earns in Leo, which of course that's going to change and the reason why your number's not right is because the payouts for the buying of Leo ads starts with USD. That's what they receive payment. Even if it was when it was in Bitcoin, it's still USD denominated, and that's how much they got, like $5,000, let's say, or $1,000 to buy Leo. Well, as the price of Leo fluctuates, okay, all of a sudden the clicks generate 20 cents, but that one day may get you 40 Leo, the next day may give you 60 Leo or 20 Leo or whatever. So, that's why that'll always fluctuate. But again, it's the point, who cares? The point being, just spend time on the site, and you're going to be going around. You're going to go back you're going to go to your notifications page, and you're going to go back to the main page. You're going to hit refresh on your notification page, which you got people. And if you're talking, you have to hit refresh, because that's how you get more of your replies. And then you go and reply to people, and you don't ignore them. And you ask questions on the site. You do this stuff. It all adds up. It just does.
I'll dive into the people's questions here, but Nifty, one of the first questions I saw from him, he said, is John addicted to looking at ad revenue yet? Yes, slightly. So you ready to get into some of these? Speaking of the Threadcast, you guys into this? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Fire the
All
question.
right, here we go. Before we get, do you hear the vacuum going? No. No. Okay. Because people decided to vacuum while I'm doing this show, so that's awesome. Can't tell you guys how exciting that is. Anyways, here we go. I'm going to refresh.
Look at that ad. Look at that ad. Look at the ad right in the middle.
Chat with an expert online now. Or you could just talk to Task and I.
Either
It's
are.
great.
Yeah, well, we take payment in HBD.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. The show starts at 8 p.m. It's 8:21 p.m., so welcome. Nonso Writes wants to know when's the show starting? 3 hours ago. Starting now. Nonzo is watching. He said he's going to bed in 30 minutes, though, so hopefully he's still here. Tokenized Society, friend of the show, wants to know what are the fundamental differences between POS and DPOS? Which one is better in your opinion?
You want me to answer this, Jungo?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
To me, it can be summed up this way, Tokenized. If you look at the Hive witnesses and you look at, I don't even know who the top is, Block Trade, Yabamat, whoever. Then you look at number 20, which is 3Speak. When you look at the blocks that they produce, they all produce the same because DPOS uses the rotating system. If you look at a POS system and you look at, let's say, Ethereum now, the one pool, what's it, Lido, whatever it's called, they have, and I don't know the percentage, but I'll just throw out a number. They have, let's say, 40% of all the Ethereum staked. They have 40% of that. That means they have a chance at 40% of all the rewards because they have a chance at getting the block 40% of the time. Now, it could be higher, it could be lower because it's not an exact because they don't operate on a rotation basis. But over time, mathematics says, and laws of probability, they're going to be somewhere close to that 40%. We don't have that. In our top 20, everybody gets 5%. Actually, they get less than 5% because all the other backup witnesses, they're rotated through also. So not only do we go 1 through 20, you also have 21 through whatever there is there, 120, 125, 130, that are also filtered in. So the voting is important for placement outside the top 20. 21 is going to get more blocks in a month than number 22. But number 20 is not going to have less blocks than number 17.
Right.
And that's one of the things that is a difference. Another thing is, I believe the supermajority is a difference. So to make any major changes, you need, I think it's 17 out of the 20 or 16 out of the 20. You need an overwhelming percentage to agree to it. Right. And this is for changes, major changes like to the blockchain itself. And those are the big differences. Then of course, also, we do have the ability to delegate high power. And so you can stake your tokens and you can actually delegate the associated power, not the governance. The governance is still yours, but the other utility with the token, you can actually delegate out. And I don't think there's nothing like that on POS at the base layer. They may be doing some stuff with that on layer 2. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of DPOS, but for biased reasons. Jay Fang, friend of the show, wants to say, is Crypto Maniacs going to be part of Zeely in the next campaign?
I don't even know what that means. I mean, we did the word of the day. I mean, I don't know what being a part of Zeely means.
I would assume that's,
I mean, we
That's
did do the
what
word
I'm
of the
thinking.
day,
Yeah.
didn't we? Most times.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We even
Yes,
had one on. We even had one on Thursday, although Nifty had to make it up off the top of his head on the spot. But oh well.
Yeah, we should be a part of anything that's coming up next. Hopefully, if they will have us. Hopefully they do. Another question from Jay Fang. What do you guys think of idle games such as TerraCore and Golem Overlord? Now I'm gonna let Task answer this because he is the resident gaming expert. He collects all the NFTs. He's got them all. He is the biggest. No, honestly, what do you think?
I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I don't even know what Golem Overlord is. I think I heard of that. TerraCore, I've heard. I've seen some people talking about it. I don't know anything about it. You were playing TerraCore, aren't you?
I do. Yes. I have a couple idle games. I guess I don't know if Rising Star is considered an idle game.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Rising Star and TerraCore kind of, they're in my browser. They're sitting there. Whenever the timer's down, I go. I'm fascinated with TerraCore. I think it's a really cool new kind of an idle game, right? So it doesn't you don't need there's strategy to it, and there's things you can do to increase your odds, but it's something that just is there, and you can do it when you have the time. It doesn't require massive brain computing power to do it. There's value there. There's real value there, and they've been building something very cool. I think TerraCore is sneakily becoming a big win for Hive. Golem Overlord, no idea. I've heard it, but I don't even know what it is.
Let me ask you this, Django.
Yes,
was Farmville one of those idle games?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's. You had to do things like all of these are kind of you have to do things too, like decrop, same thing. Like you actually have to buy NFTs to kind of level up. You have to spend the crypto to get better stuff, but it doesn't require any upfront investment, just time, and you can expedite your wins, just like in Farmville, right? Like. You would get better stuff if you spent the money. Better trinkets, better farming equipment. I never even played Farmville, to be honest. So, but yeah, that same type of thing. I mean,
that
I'm
was
sure.
Huge. I mean, was huge. So I think the more stuff we have tied to Hive, the better. And it's great that I don't play them, but it's. These people are developing, they're building, and they're getting a following, and you just never know, Jay Fang. One of these suckers could break through, and the right gaming influencer stumbles upon it, and next thing you know, it's like he or she puts it out there in a video or something, and bam, the thing goes viral.
Yeah, I love it. I think TerraCore is great. I'm enjoying my time, and it's passive time, so it is a true idle game. Great question though, because that is definitely something on my radar. Eliana, friend of the show, if you could right now bring any well-known from outside to Hive, who and why? Interesting question. That's a good question. Who would you bring, and why?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I presume she's talking about, celebrity or influencer. Here's my deal on this, and then I'll answer the question. I'm of the mindset, you look at when YouTube came around, there were YouTube stars. YouTube stars were not broadcast stars who came over to YouTube. YouTube created their own stars. I believe Web3. I believe 3Speak. I believe Speak Network. I believe Hive. We got to create our own stars.
Right.
We don't bring stars from other places. We don't bring them over from YouTube. This is the idea. Bring crypto influencers over to YouTube. From YouTube, screw that. Create our own influencers. if one person I could bring over, uh, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you can go for the easy layup and say, "Oh, a guy like Tucker Carlson,"
Right.
on Hive. But uh, I would love to see a guy like Jeff Schneider, who I'm sure nobody here knows who the hell I'm talking about, or very few. Jay Fang might know, um, but he's a guy who talks a lot about money and stuff. Uh, I wouldn't mind seeing some of these people, like we had this recent episode with these people kicked off Twitch. Now I
Mm.
know Twitch is different from Hive and stuff like that, but getting some of those, there were evidently some well-known gamers that I don't follow it close enough, but some well-known gamers who were kicked off Twitch, they could be very intriguing.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Eliana, as we saw with Crypto Vigilante, they'll post here, but his
That's
main
it. Yeah.
stuff is still outside here. And, it's again, I think at the end of the day, uh, we got to develop our own brands. And by that, I mean, each of us, we're our own brand. So the Taskmaster brand, the Django brand, the Eliana brand, and people who are making videos, people who are making content, people who are doing this stuff have to get freaking serious and not put up a 150 word bullshit post. If you're going to write a long form post, write a damn long form post that somebody can read and say, I want to know more about this person.
Right.
And we have to delve into the areas that people have interest in and build databases around that. That's what I think. But I mean, you could bring a lot of people over, but if they're not here, if they're only swinging by like Crypto Wendy and Dollar Vigilante, well, what do they do? I mean, okay, it's great that once in a while they put their stuff here, but it's not like they're out there promoting Hive to or Three Speak to all their people. It's like, they're just taking this as a place to drop their stuff and try to get more views on YouTube or on their websites or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I've always taken the stance, just like you do, Tess, that we should create our own stars here. In a perfect situation, you'd want a crypto-friendly influencer who isn't a Danantana, but that's far and few in between because most of them scream crypto but never really use the stuff. Some of the people really even got like Coruscate, Girl Gone Crypto. She got her start basically on the blockchain, and she's gone on to become like this massive crypto influencer. And I know there was some reasons or whatever, but like that's homegrown talent that kind of escaped, and it's like, damn, that would have been cool to have her screaming about Hive, out there on social media a lot. I think that's the big thing, to see the people not only just posting links, but actually talking about it. And I don't know if that's going to be a thing because, again, Hive doesn't pay the bills. We don't have VCs. We don't have influx of investments here. These people get on social media and start talking about projects. It's very easy to do that because they all have VCs. They all get a little, kickback to talk about it and bring it up. And so, perfect.
Of course, then Gary Gensler sues the shit out of them. Just ask Shaq.
Yeah.
Just ask the Kardashians.
Yeah, okay. Gary. But yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, I'd love to see some of the guys and gals that got kicked off of traditional social media, and instead of running to another social media, why not go on a decentralized blockchain where you can't be banned? But
Yeah, it's the same thing we've been talking about for 2.5 years.
Right.
They won't do it.
They won't.
The answer, Eliana, to me is the hot topic right now is threads.
Yeah.
We just need to build up the numbers and keep counting the numbers and keep growing more people on the threads. And you know what? If you start to get that where there's 150,000 threads a day, then you're dealing with something that you have a viable Web3 situation.
Right.
And it's like, you know, we don't care if you join or not because we have so much wealth building here. It's like, screw you. And when you have that attitude, guess what? Then everybody wants to be part of it.
Right, of course. It's great segue into what Tokenize brought up. He said with the introduction of ad revenue, SEO is more important than ever. What can we do as a community to spread the word about the importance of SEO to all authors on Leo Finance? I get it. I understand why people love SEO. I think it's search engine optimist because at any time Google can change their algorithm. So I get why people want SEO stuff. Just 20 years in the business of dealing with SEO, I know that in a dime they can change things.
And a lot of that comes from your site. I mean, it's the site design and the site layout. I will tell you the other and what I view as an important factor, and maybe it's because I just wrote an article on it. It's on my mind. Tokenized links.
Yeah,
links.
page ranks. Yeah, right.
Because the bottom line is every single search engine, it doesn't matter what you are, sends their spiders out. And the more they have you bouncing around your website, the more they run into your website, the more weight they're going to give it, even if it's not optimized at all.
You know what they used to call this back in the day? Having your website sticky, and Threads is sticky.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that exactly is though, Django, because you look at Google, you'll never see Twitter. They ignore Twitter for obvious reasons because I mean, let's
that's
be honest.
What I mean by like if you cater to Google, it's a losing battle because they'll change things whenever they want.
Well, and the other thing is who knows if Google will be the top player with Chat GPT coming on and some of this other stuff. So who the hell knows how all this is changing? But the bottom line is, and it's like we started the show with, if you just start to get people, if we start to view page views and you start to think of ways to get page views. Okay, if I drop tokenized article about, something and I drop it on Twitter, will that get a couple views? Maybe. If Django drops it on Facebook, will that get a couple views? Maybe. Right. Now, what if that article has 22 Leo glossary links? Will they click through? Maybe. Maybe one of the person clicks through on 2 or 3 of the links. This is what it is. I said this on Threads the other day. There should not be any tweets on Threads. And I told Cal this, and he didn't listen. Cal should make all his announcements on Threads, then take the URL for the thread, throw it on Twitter. Right. Put a little quick heading on it, on Twitter, and there's the link. Have them view Threads on Twitter, not the other way around. That's how you start to change the narrative. And I think, and Django is going to hate this, but this is the life we lead. The green candles, the pushing up higher of the Leo price will garner attention. And fortunately, this attention is sustained because the price will be sustainable. We have not seen the buying of Leo with Leo ads, and we're already double the price of where we were, a month ago? So
it's killing me.
What's that?
It's killing me because I dollar cost average every day, and buying 100 Leo is getting more and more expensive every day.
Well, that's good for you. It practice your stoicism, and adversity is good, John.
Yes.
Seek it out.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, it's hey, listen, the price of Leo going up only helps all of us. Yes, we all want more. Yes, the price of Leo going up makes our HP delegation rewards in Leo terms go down because it's based on USD. and we have the fun time of Leo going up with the price of Hive going down. So that really makes our amount of Leo we're getting vastly decreased. But
Yes.
it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are not going to get to 50-cent Leo, 75-cent Leo, $1 Leo, with what we have. We need the system to grow, evolve, expand. And that's why being a trailblazer and putting up with the bullshit, it's not easy. And if you sit there and complain, I'm going to say, fuck you, get the hell out of here, leave. We don't give a shit. We don't need you. Are you going to be a loser your whole life? Yes. Get the hell out of here. Because I know damn well 6 months, a year from now, that same jackass will be back and say, I'm back. And you guys are so lucky you could buy Leo at 7 cents and 5 cents. You guys were so lucky. And it's like, you jackass, we were buying Leo at 5 cents, hoping it didn't go to 2.5 cents. But you buy anyway. And you stay busy, you stay active. And that's why, in the long run, the people who stayed through the bear market, who kept building, who kept in there, who kept adding to their Leo stake, and I don't care what you got. If you had 1,000 and you now have 5,000, congratulations. If you have 100 and you got 500, congratulations. If you just made 20,000 or 50,000, congratulations. Whatever you got, it's more than somebody walking in the door today. And even more importantly, it's more than somebody walking in the door a year and a half, 2 years from now, which if things keep progressing as we think they will, it's going to be a lot harder to earn and get and fill your bags with Leo a year and a half from now as compared to today.
Yep. Great question, Tokenized. Thank you for that. Going back to Nifty, he said, am I addicted at looking at the ad rev yet? Yes, sir. And he wants to know, what are our thoughts on Google Ads versus Coinzilla? Back in my day, so there was the Warrior Forum, Internet Marketing History Now. The Warrior Forum was the most popular marketing forum forever and ever and ever. Amen. Still around to this day. We would like to think that we owned the second most popular marketing. It was called netmarketingforum.com. This is at the peak of internet marketing when Google AdWords was just coming out and AdSense and the whole nine. And Joel Comm wrote the AdSense code. I mean, this was, prime time. We stuck Google Ads onto our forum, Net Marketing Forum. We thought, hey, it's a marketing forum. This would be a great place to stick Google Ads on. We lasted about a week, and then Google slapped us. So I have no opinion officially on Coinzilla because I've never used it. I like crypto-related stuff, so I'm a fan of that. Google Ads, it's huge. It's massive. It'll go everywhere. It's the biggest network out there for advertising. Personally, I haven't used it since, late 2000s. So I have no thoughts on either, just because it's like whichever one Cal can plug in and does great, I'm a fan of. Let's plug them both in.
The what Cal said on the AMA, one thing he did mention is the problem with Coinzilla is we have so many pages already that there was blanks up there because they ran out of ads. Right. You're not going to run out of ads with
Google Ads, right?
Google Ads. So, and they also are able to target it. They also are able to, because Google, they know what we think before we even think.
Before we think it, yes, sir.
So they can really cater it. But Nifty, you answered the question to me about what it serves, and I guess they have a lot more of the characteristics that I mentioned earlier when I was giving a little synopsis of it. Google Ads takes that to the nth degree. So
it's massive market. It's probably the one that will generate the most. So I give free compliments as that they take offense because the Jets suck, but they're our suck to call suckers. Well, you know what how they do the JETS, Jets. I always thought it was FAIL, fail. Anyways,
Oh,
thank you, New Jersey.
wait. I'm trying to think, John. Go. How many
Yes, sir.
Super Bowls do the Bills have?
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay?
I thought
We're still the only team to get to 4 Super Bowls in a row. So we got that. We didn't win any of them, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's well.
The Jets won one with Joe Namath. What was that? 1920? Like, I mean,
what?
The last time the Jets won was with Joe Namath.
I understand. I mean,
the last time the Dolphins.
Listen, I'm not a huge Jet defender here. Don't get me wrong.
No, I know, but it's
I'm
like
a Giant fan. But being a Met fan, I also
bring that up.
I can also understand Jet fans being a Met fan, but it's not like the Bills haven't sucked since Jim Kelly hung it up. I mean, it's like, where the hell were you for 20 years?
Thank you. Exactly.
And now you come back in, and it's like,
Trent Edwards was our quarterback. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. J.P. Lossman was our quarterback.
I mean, it seems to me, I recall, like, the big swinging, what was called the Patriots, not the Bills. And the Patriots owned the Bills. So now you just like are sitting here acting like you're just all that and a $5 bill.
We've won the AFC East 3 years in a row. Let's make it 4. Anyways.
And the Patriots probably won it like 16 years in a row.
Yes, I know, but that's why are you bringing up old stuff, man? Come on.
It's only 3 years ago, you said.
Doesn't matter, man. Just be organic, Nifty said.
I mean, listen, I say this without skin in this game. I mean, we haven't built an offensive line in 11 years. So, I mean, we can't protect our quarterback if he was like Fran Tarkenton in his prime.
Danny Dimes.
Well, yeah, he can move a little bit. He has to as the Giants quarterback. Eli could have played another 30 years if he had a line and didn't get killed his last 5 years because he can't move. Well, he never could move. No. But anyway, so I guess he's a Jets fan.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, you're right. Their claim to fame was Joe Namath, and Joe Namath turned 80 this year, so that ought to tell you how.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
He may have been the last Jets Hall of Famer too. I mean, I know they had some who played for our teams like Curtis Martin. I think
Curtis, and Darrelle Revis will definitely Revis Island was just legendary.
Who?
Darrelle Revis.
Yeah, Revis was, and Martin. But Martin had, didn't he play half his career with like New England or somebody? Or
no, he played with another team. But you think Curtis Martin, you think Jets, right?
Well, I do because I don't know what other team he played for. But
you got Vinny Testaverde. Okay.
And Boomer Esiason and Brett Favre, and now they got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's like washed up quarterback you.
I love it. Hive, I destroy that Bear Kisimito. That sound right? Want to know? Hello there. When the keyword? Just kidding.
We don't have a keyword.
I know.
The contest is over. Where the hell you been? Pay attention.
I
mean, every 10 minutes, Bradley's asking for the updates. Just go on Leo Threads, and Bradley will ask for the updates of the final results. Which, by the way, everybody, from what I understand, they'll be out tomorrow. I don't know, but the 14th is supposedly when Eric was going to announce it. So
very nice. But they want to know, I need to make a calendar for all the shows now that the campaign has ended. They can listen to them much more relaxed. Well, it's good to have you. I hope this is a relaxing episode. Nifty.
You're on Thread, so we like you, and we're going to go through, and you'll get upvotes for posting in the Threadcast like everybody else. This is the way we engage.
I'm making sure I'm getting everybody as I go down. I guess I'll upvote. I give free compliments, even though they're talking about the Jets.
Of course, we upvotes don't have to be on your personal likes. It's
I know
a worthy compliment, and it certainly was. The fact that he's not, well, I can't say he's not completely deranged. He's a Jet fan, but it could be worse. He could be a Bills fan. I mean, at least the
what
Jets
is
don't have
with
to
it?
deal with 80 feet of snow through half the year. I mean, hell, you have kickoff on like September 25th and it's snowing.
Yeah. Moving on. Nifty.
Buffalo's known for its snow drifts.
Yeah. Well, it's lake effect snow, man. It's
Yeah.
absolutely legendary. When real games on Hive, though, can't wait for Ragnarok. Isn't CyberX supposedly coming out soon too? Yeah, I mean, ideally Call of Duty would or FIFA or something would show up here. A lot of this stuff is idle games, strategy type games. Splinterlands is a trading card game. So real games with real graphics. I don't know if you could do it directly. Like
Yeah.
the tokens can be done on it, but like
Except we don't have smart contracts. So you got to go, something either with Hive Engine or
right.
I think a lot of this stuff will change once VSC rolls out, because I think Vaultec is focusing on gaming. So I think there will be a lot more features for gaming developers to incorporate. But it's like anything else; it takes time. I mean, we had Bob the Builder on, I don't know, a couple months ago, John, and I mean that was a tremendous episode. I mean, he talked all about what's going on, and they're just building, no pun intended, and it takes time. And CyberX and Ragnarok. I mean, Ragnarok, Dan said over the weekend, was supposed to go have an update yesterday and go live with something. So, check that out.
There you go. Jessica Gomez says, I keep sending threads from the team account when I'm not supposed to. Anyways, are all the games an entrance to Hive, like create accounts for? Okay, so she wants to know, like, all these games are bringing in new people to Hive. Technically, they should be if the account management is done on Hive, like Splinterlands.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's not a must, but it'd be great if they did.
CyberX, you need a Hive account.
Right.
Splinterlands, you obviously need a Hive account. Any of the idle games that were mentioned here, I believe, need a Hive
they all need
account.
accounts. Yep.
I don't know what other one. Ragnarok's obviously going to require a Hive account. I think they all do. I mean, but like you said, they don't necessarily have to, because a lot of times the game itself doesn't interact with the blockchain. Even if they send custom JSONs, that doesn't have to be from Django's account. That's from Splinterland's account. So, and we don't have. But if you start using Speak Network, if you start using VSC and incorporate anything, whether it's tokens, NFT, anything, smart contracts that they utilize, those games are going to require a Hive account, because that's how you're going to be able to access. Just like Deluxe, you got anything that disregards building, you on Deluxe, you need a Hive account to access it.
I give free compliments. A more serious question. Is there a realistic limit to the amount of data that can be stored on and retrieved from the blockchain? What would be the cost of maintaining various types of data, say, from millions of users? Ideas brewing. Well, I mean, it's the witnesses all have the entire. That's what witnesses do, right? I should know these. Eliana, help me out here. What's the database of Hive right now?
What's the what?
Hive. Unless I'm a witness too, I should know this. No, you need a server for sure to replay it and be a witness. So it's sizable, but it's not as big as it used to be. It used to be a lot bigger. So Do you know?
You just went on for about 20 seconds and you didn't say a fucking thing.
No,
Do you
I know.
realize that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
You
look
did
at me.
not say a damn thing
Look at me.
to answer
What
the
do you
question.
expect? I mean, what do you expect?
You're the one who was like walking block trades through some techie issues.
Oh,
so
dude, I
expect
know.
a lot better.
I will
To answer your
definitely.
question, since
Yeah.
John just took the political stance, and I'm going to call
I
him
was the
Pocahontas.
Switzerland answer.
You're now Pocahontas. You're like Elizabeth Warren, talking out your ass and not saying anything.
I like it. At least I'm not Gensler.
Yeah. Well, I want to shoot her too, but Gensler's at the top of the list. But anyway, what happens is the last hard fork, they compressed the database down, and it was almost a 50% compression. It went from like 700 gigabytes to, I think, between 350 and 400. Let's call it 350.
Right.
And what that does is that dramatically reduces the cost of the witness servers. And the problem is, and we've run into this before, we had Marky on, and he talked about this too, where if the database gets too big, because keep in mind, everybody is keeping the entire database. You get to the point where cost is not the limiting factor. You can't even get servers big enough. I mean, you can't get a 2 terabyte server. So what happens is they're continually looking for ways of optimizing the data. And so they did a major compression in the last hard fork that reduced it down by 50%. Now, keep in mind, on Hive, it's only text. All the images are on the image server. That's not on the blockchain. That's not held by witnesses. That's why when you go to Hive blocks, you don't see any pictures in your posts, because that's only reading the blockchain. So we have that. There's other methods that are out there. If you want to find out about them, just read about Ethereum. I mean, Vitalik's writing about it all the time, because that's what they're trying to do, is figure out how to scale. Block Trades did mention something about, at the time he was on, this was going back, I don't remember, John, probably 5 months ago. He was talking about where they were talking about perhaps not having every witness host the entire blockchain, but break it up where, and the way I understood it, and I may be speaking out of school here, where let's say you have 20 consensus witnesses. So you break up the blockchain 4 different ways, and you have 5 hosting one block, one quarter of it, another 5 hosting the second quarter, another 5 the third, another 5 the fourth. And then you have your apps just pulling from all of that. That was one thing that was talked about. Another thing that was done in the last hard fork, which helps the processing, is the server that actually processes the block. They compress it, then send out the data to the other servers, as opposed to processing the block, sending the data out, and every server then has to compress it. So you're sending compressed data. So that's what Block Trades and his team are constantly working on. Is that he's big into scaling. Ultimately, they call me Dan. He talks about that eventually you're just going to have to get some of this stuff off the chain. Right now, it's not a problem because we got plenty of room. But, do you want every LOL on threads? Does that need to be on the blockchain, or can you put that on a side chain? And again, your application can read from multiple sources at one time. So from your front end, you're just looking at it. You don't know where the data is housed. You don't really give a shit. You just want to see it. Right. But, all of a sudden that LOL is just housed on some side chain, and it's like, okay, well, who cares? So there's various ways to do it. Leo Finance, they had like a 25,000 thread day over the weekend, or over the last, day of the last contest. and that broke a record, and it also broke the site. And that's what Cal wants. He says because we get tremendous amount of data, and we have to go up to 25,000 so we can figure out how to go beyond 25,000 and 50,000. Then we got to push to 50,000 and break it to figure out how to go up higher. And that's just the nature of the beast. So you got all different types of things. API, Cal's talked about running their own API, which then not only gets them off the other Hive APIs, which there's 9 or 10 of them. These are not witness nodes. These are API nodes that the sites look at. And by doing that, Cal can set up and Leo Finance can set up their own API. Not only does that take the traffic off the other APIs and not get them blocked, but they can contour it mostly to threads. And that means they can, the development team can lay down the data on the API node how they want. As opposed to now it's just handled however BlockTrade set it up, or however Gandalf set it up, or however Arcane set it up, or whoever's running all these API nodes. So they can customize it. So, you have the blockchain level, you got the app level, where are things going, where are hangups? Sometimes it's in the Hive nodes, sometimes it's in the Hive engine nodes, sometimes it's at the application level of Leo Finance. Sometimes it's in the APIs. So, you got to identify where the problem is. And quite frankly, all need to be scaled. And sometimes scaling them is like with the APIs, it's setting up your own damn server. And, so this is a question I'm not concerned about, simply because free compliments. Everybody out there, from Google to Facebook to Twitter to Hive to Leo Finance to BlockTrade to JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, you name it, everybody has the same problem. Data is growing exponentially. How the hell do we house it? How the hell do we process it? How the hell do we keep it so it's available and use it in a timely manner? Everybody has the same problem. So, I don't know whether sharding is necessarily the next great thing or not, but people talk about sharding. People talk about a bunch of different things, and we'll see. Compression, from what BlockTrade said, compression is probably not going to be yielding too many more results. We've gone as far as we can at the blockchain level on that. So it's off to other things, and I'm nowhere near smart enough to know what they are.
And how's this to end the show, man? Nifty wants to know when 69-cent Leo.
I'm really upset with Nifty in this question because, quite frankly, I think this shows an extreme inferiority complex. Personally, I think Nifty should be asking when $4.20. Are you limiting us to that minuscule 69 when $4.20 Leo is much more erotic? John Go, we just have to be happy. I'm just teasing on Nifty, though. Nifty knows that and if you don't know what 69 means, well, somebody will draw you a picture. Anyway, hey, we went through an entire episode, and Nifty left us like 2 or 3 comments, and not once did he talk feet. So he's progressing.
I appreciate it. Here's the let's do the totals for the Threadcast. We had 31 comments, 118 views, which turned into 2.75 Leo in ad revenue generated. So,
and people, that's what we've been talking about this hour. It's just through the engagement, 31 comments, 118 clicks. Obviously John Go had to, as he's going through the show, refresh. And this is my point. And another thing, John, you asked about the AMA since you weren't able to catch it. I caught the question. He didn't read who it was. I wasn't able to get on the Threadcast because the site was crashing in the browser I was in. I believe it was RM Sagri asked, because he's been asking for a month. Cal has some ideas about setting up a page for Threadcast, and he said it's kind of like how Spaces, and he said Clubhouse was set up. Now, I didn't do anything with Clubhouse, so I don't know what that interface looked like, but he's thinking of having some type of page for it that maybe is overlaid where we can have our Threadcasts. And, you know, this is an extremely valuable tool for Hive. I mean, for Leo. And if you can't see, I mean, just this episode shows it in an hour, 100 and whatever, 13 views. Or, I mean, and it's just simple. It's organic. It's just people conversing, people land a few questions. I'm going to go through and I'll give some upvotes, and I'll also maybe answer a couple of the questions, or I'll leave some comments on your comments. It all adds up, and you know, that's what it's about. And John was right. He used AdSense years ago, and they are no less strict now than they were before. You try to game Google, they're going to fuck you.
Yeah, they will.
I mean, they will just yank it out from you and say, "Get lost."
Google slap. Ask
They
Bitcoin
won't.
Flood about Google slapping. He'll know all about it.
He'll
tell you.
They don't need us whatsoever. They don't care about us.
They don't care.
And if you try to steal one penny from them, they have enough. I mean, now they have bots running all over the site anyway. You don't think they have bots finding out, you know, people trying to game the system? So, you know, it's don't mess around. Click on stuff that interests you. Click on threads, comment, go through your notifications, open that up in another tab. That's organic. That's not, but don't go and auto refresh 85 times your thread or a comment. That's just going to get everybody in trouble.
Yep. Great show, man. We'll be back on Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And we will have a Threadcast Thursday, and maybe we'll get 150 views then and 40 comments.
Love it. You guys be good to each other, and we'll see you on Threads. Toodles.
Ciao.